6:10, and we are starting our chat today about Facebook. And I'm hoping that this will be kind of interactive. So if you have a question or something, anything, like, feel free to just pop in, because what I'm going to be doing, like, my intention is just to kind of go through what I've been learning about Facebook and like pages in this training that I paid for. I've paid for a lot of trainings over the last few years, and this is like one of the few that I'm actually getting into and completing, so I'm really excited about that. I've come a long way, but it's really doing a lot for my page. And just a little bit of background on me: when I first started coaching, Facebook pages were like the thing. And so, like, day one, I had a Facebook page. It was just, when you signed up a new coach, like, you just told them they needed a Facebook page. It was kind of one of those things, like, you just did it. So I started my Facebook page, and it was like super successful right away. Like, I was getting tons of likes. I got my likes on my page up super high. I was getting sales. Like, it was awesome. It was phenomenal. And then Facebook people, I mean, I don't know when I started, like, how long Facebook had business pages going, but I don't think it was a really long time. And then as more and more business pages started popping up, Facebook started cracking down, and they started implementing these crazy algorithms and all this stuff. And my audience, not my likes kept going up, but the interaction and the people that were seeing my posts went down. And it was very discouraging. I mean, I went from around, and I documented this, so I went back to my very first year as a coach, and I had about 700 likes, and I would get 80 to 120 likes per post. That many people were liking my posts. Now I have 2,600 likes, and I'm lucky, like, a good post is like 10 people like my post, and maybe 2 or 3 people comment. So Facebook drastically changed the way they operated. So about a year and a half ago, people started saying, like, even top coaches were saying, like, you know, the Facebook page is a thing of the past. Like, it's a waste of your time. You really need to take everything to your personal page and start using your personal page. And at this point in my career, I hadn't used my personal page at all. Not at all. Like, I didn't post about Shakeology. I didn't post about my workouts. I was deathly afraid of scaring off all of my friends. And we're going to talk about fear here in a second. But I was really afraid of, like, scaring off all my friends, and that people would be like, you know, I'm so tired of seeing her drinking her shake. So I had been keeping everything to my fitness page. So now everybody's saying, like, oh, fitness pages are really sucky. You really need to take it all to your personal page. So I switched, literally, I flipped around the way I was doing things, and I took everything to my personal page, and I really started working that. I kept my fitness page kind of going, like, limping along, right? And honestly, looking back, that was a really bad decision. I shouldn't have done that. The other thing that I shouldn't have done is I stopped encouraging my new coaches to create their own fitness page, because, again, everybody from the top down were saying, like, this is like a waste of time. So I have a bunch of coaches now on our team who don't have a Facebook page, or don't really understand how to use one. Maybe they have one. Some of you guys have. Some of you have really great ones. So don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not talking about everybody, but the majority of the coaches on our team do not have a fitness page. All right, so we're starting off from there. Number one, you want to get a fitness page, and I'll tell you why. It's the best way that you're going to be able to organically grow your cold market and meet new people. All right, so the majority of the coaches on our team, I never knew personally before I became a coach, and I met most of you, through my fitness page. That's how I met you. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that. Okay, and again, taking what I said to heart, that was a mistake on my part. I was following advice, and it was kind of bad advice. And I don't think anybody, it was just what everybody thought at the time. Facebook is now really cracking down on people who are running a business from their personal page. So this is another reason why it's important to get a like page or a fan page. Facebook doesn't want you running a business from your personal page. They want your personal stuff to be personal and business stuff to be on a business page. And it's not like they're going to come looking for you, but say you're posting about Shakeology all the time, or you're posting about your workouts, and somebody gets annoyed and they click on there and they report you for whatever reason. I don't think that any of you have a terrible person like that in your audience that would do that, but it's happened to people. And what happens is Facebook will penalize you for running a business from your personal page, and that penalty is usually your entire Facebook account gets shut down. Not just your fan page, not just your personal, your entire account. So we're talking about coaches who have challenge groups running and they can't post in their challenge groups. All right, this is not a good thing. This is a very bad thing. Now, chances that this would happen to you are, again, very, very, very low, but it has happened to people. Okay, so that's just another reason why starting a fan page, and really, like, I'm not saying don't go all cray on yourself and just be like, I'm never posting again on my personal page, but just keep that in the back of your mind as kind of an incentive of why you really should start a business page. The other reason, one more reason, is that we really want to build for longevity. Okay, so when you're like a 15-star diamond coach, right, you want to have that infrastructure as you're growing. Your infrastructure should be growing ahead of you, not lagging behind you. Otherwise, it'll drag you back. Okay, so operate now as though you already are a superstar diamond coach, right? Like, start getting those things in place. And I think a fan page is one of those things. All right, so to start off, I wanted to cover, because we're going to be talking about Facebook and how to promote your business on Facebook. And what I'm going to be talking about really goes for either a personal page or a fan page. But again, I really do recommend that you get a fan page. And I'm going to be posting, I already have it ready to go. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to be posting some links in our team page that have a link to a document that tells you exactly the steps you need to do to get a fitness page started. All right, so I'm not going to cover that tonight because that's already, I have a system that I created a long time ago, back when fitness pages were the thing. But there's 11 steps that you want to do before you actually post your page and take it public. And I have that already created. I've linked it. I'm going to be posting it as soon as I get off this chat. I was going to post something else too. There were links. Anyway, you'll see them. But I will post some links that go along with what we're talking about tonight. All right, so to get us started, what I wanted to talk about first are things that stop people from being a great coach on social media. And I think the number one thing, if I asked you, like, what do you think the number one thing is, it's fear. All right, so we start out this thing, maybe, you're a brand new coach. I know when I first started coaching, I was so scared, you guys, like, to post anything. It was like, in my mind, like, people were going to be judging me for so many things. Like, who does she think she is? She still needs to lose weight. Or who does she think she is? She's only been, like, doing fitness for 5 months. Like, there were so many different reasons why I was afraid to start posting and sharing what I was doing on Facebook. And the one thing that I can say that got me past that hump of fear was that I really was plugged into my excitement for what the programs and products had done for me personally. And I was just so excited that it was like, when you're super excited about something, you just can't help but talk about it. And so what I want to encourage you, if you're afraid, is to really plug yourself into why you started this in the first place. Because I can tell you something that I know 100%. If you're watching this video or if you're on this chat right now, it's because you have something in you. It might be a tiny, tiny grain of mustard seed, like the Bible says, but you have a tiny little bit of something in you that said, this is for me, right? Or that, hey, maybe I could maybe I could do this and I could really rock it. Or maybe I could do this and I could help some people. There's a grain of belief in you that is the reason why you're even here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't believe in it at some level. So plug into that. Like, what is it that made you sign up as a coach? Because when your motivation and the reason why you're doing something is bigger than the fear will not hold you back. It's only when your fear is bigger. So I want to just like encourage you to figure that out. Like, what is it that made you want to do this? And run with it. Just run with that. The second thing that I think causes people to not do so well on social media is poor planning and poor time management. All right, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about it's 11 o'clock at night, I'm getting in bed and I go, oh crap, I was supposed to post 3 times today and I didn't post anything. And now it's 11 and I'm like this in my bed, like trying to come up with something, right? When the truth is that nobody's on Facebook, number one. They're all asleep, right? Number 2, I'm just posting just to post because I feel like I have to post because I didn't post when I was supposed to post, right? There's 2 real big reasons why doing that is a bad idea, all right? So here's the thing. If you are bad at time management and maybe you forget to post and you find yourself in this situation where now it's like midnight and you're trying to come up with something to post, set an alarm in your phone. This is the age of technology, people, right? Like put a little reminder in your phone, a little alert to go off at times of the day when you know that you're going to be able to follow through. All right. So like for me, 8 o'clock in the morning, right? After my workout, after I'm ready to go to work, I have a little bit of time right then. Maybe noon when I'm on my lunch break, right? Or maybe one of my my breaks during the day. All right. 5 o'clock before dinner, set an alarm, set a little alert so that you get yourself in the habit of posting when you're supposed to post. Mindless posting. So again, I kind of already touched on it, but just posting things just because like I feel like I have to post and not putting my thought into it and not really putting like my heart into it. People can tell, all right? If I'm just posting like something I find on Pinterest and I'm just like, I need to post something, so I'm gonna go find a quote on fitness and I'm just gonna post it, it comes across exactly like that. That's how it comes across to people. You have to really take the time to ask yourself, like, what does this mean to me? Why am I posting this? What do I feel this will provide value to somebody else? How can I twist this and make it something about me and share something personal about my story, my journey? And it might take a little bit of time in the beginning to get your flow with doing that, but with practice, it will start coming faster and you'll start triggering things throughout the day. Or maybe you're reading your personal development, or maybe you're watching your kids play, or you're walking the dog. I don't know. Something will happen and you'll be like, you know what? I could make a really great post about this. Okay, so it just takes practice. And then the last one is that I don't know what to post. What do I post? Oh, that's one of the links that I'm going to be posting is a link to a group. I know some of us are already in there. It's the I don't know what to post group. And they have some really great suggestions in there. Post planners, schedules, post ideas. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there that you can use to help you if you don't know what to post, right? The only thing I would recommend, like big time recommend, is before you go posting stuff that you find in a group like that, or maybe you follow a coach that you admire or you kind of like relate to, don't just copy what they do, like duplicate it. Okay, model yourself after someone, but don't be a copycat. So, you know, if you're gonna post the same picture or maybe even the same kind of thought, the train of thought that they posted, just put it in your own words so that it comes across genuine and authentic. And also so that somebody who's following you and the other person doesn't go, that's the same, what's going on here, right? We don't want people to think that we're copying other people. All right, so that was what I had in the beginning. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to screen share. If I can figure out how to do it. Okay, can you see my desktop? Yeah, okay. So Sarah, it's just me and you on here live. If you have anything you want to ask, just like pop in, okay? Because we're at a spot right now where I'm kind of, I'm just going to be going over some of the stuff I've been learning in the group that I'm in. And so if you have questions or anything, just like pop in. Because I have my notes here, and I'm just going to be going off that. Did you have anything actually before we move on about anything I said about fears or things that hold people back?
No, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm like struggling I know that we're supposed to be posting 3 times a day on our personal page, but can I be posting the same thing on my personal page as I am on my fitness page? Because I feel like I have the same people on both, and I don't want to like say the same thing over and over so that their newsfeed is just like full of the same thing.
Okay, what I would do in that instance is either there's a couple options you can do. You can tag yourself in your post so that it doesn't, you're not reposting, but it shares it to both you and your fitness page at the same time. And I can show you how to do that. It's a little tricky. You can only do it on a computer.
Okay.
You can also share your post, which I actually think is a little bit better than tagging. I've just noticed with the tagging, it's kind of glitchy. Sometimes I tag myself and then it shows up in my photos, but it doesn't show up on my timeline of my personal page. Just weird. Like, I think it's better to share because sharing actually, Facebook looks at your likes, your shares, and your comments on your post and decides whether that post is worthy of putting it into more people's news feeds. So the whole point, like with your fan page and even your personal page works the same way. Facebook wants to see that people are paying attention to you, that what you are posting, you know, matters or whatever. So if you get people liking immediately, like as soon as you post, Facebook goes, oh, people like this, we're going to put this in more people's feeds. So when you share your own post, it actually counts toward that affinity, the Facebook affinity. Facebook looks at your share just like it looks at if I went to your page and shared something or your mom shared something. It's the same affinity that happens.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And actually, I wanted to say this, and I think this is a good point to say this too. For us coaches, like, it's so, and I kind of mentioned this the other day in a different way when I mentioned to you guys, like, I think I posted a little video this last week about how, you know, we really need to be encouragers and supporters of each other. The world has so many critics. Like, we don't need to be the same way, okay? And I know, like, in my video that I posted, I talked about, like, you know, don't let jealousy and envy, like, come in between you and somebody else on the team. Like, we're all a team. We're all working together. And if you know, just treat people the way you want to be treated, all right? But it's the same, like, when I have my fitness page and I know our other coaches have their fitness pages. I like all of your pages, and sometimes I don't see your stuff, but when I think about it, I'll go to your page and look for it. Sorry, turn this off. It's going to distract me. I go to our coaches' pages and I look for them and I'll like and I'll interact on their posts because, again, when I do that, I'm helping my coach. I'm helping my team because it's going to drive their affinity up. So please, like, for all of our coaches, make sure that you like everybody's page, like their page. If you see something pop up, like comment on it. It's going to help that person. And if we all do that, it's going to help everybody. Everybody will be benefited by it. And it makes it, it just makes your page look more attractive to somebody who, say somebody stumbles across your page that doesn't know you, and they see like all these posts that have comments and shares and likes, they're going to think like, oh, this person has it going on. Like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, there's a conversation going. If they come to your page and it's dead, it's kind of the opposite. Like, it just, that's all I wanted to say. So just like, be friendly, be kind, appreciate the good that you see in other people, and be an encourager and a supporter. And I promise you, if we all embrace that on our team and we really, truly embrace that wholeheartedly and make it part of our team culture, that, it doesn't matter what I did in my business this month. It doesn't matter how I feel about my progress. It doesn't matter if I'm disappointed, discouraged, elated, whatever. My emotion about myself doesn't affect or reflect on anybody else. And the same in the reverse. Your success doesn't make me look like I'm doing nothing, right? We're a team. We work together. Okay, rant over. Okay, so I'm sharing my page, right? So you guys can see my screen. And what I wanted to point out, first of all, is that when you have a Facebook page, and again, I'm sharing the 11 steps to create your page, so you're already going to know how to do that. So let's look at what we first see when we come to a fitness page or a Facebook page. We see the cover photo, right? So making sure that your cover photo pops and that it is attractive and that it makes people, want to look further is really important. And I actually looked, but I didn't see any that I wanted to like showcase, but I looked for some opposites of that. And I decided against doing that. So what I'm going to do is show you some other people's pages that I think do a good job at this. So here's another one. This is Alexis Whalen. She is an elite coach. And if you look at her page, you see like she has this kind of like I did on mine, the background, and it's really faded out. It's transparent so that the cover, what you put over it, really pops out. All right. So when I first did my page, this photo, it was darker. The background was darker, and I got critiqued in this group I was in, and they were like, no, you want to make that fade out because you really want what you want. You don't want busy, busy, busy in people's faces. You want it interesting, and you want a backdrop, not a, you don't want things warring, I guess. You don't want things at war on your page. So you can see here she did the same thing. Hers are even more faded than mine. So she's got this fade going on. That way that her picture really pops. The second thing that you notice when you're looking at it is her profile picture. And this is the same no matter where you're at, like your personal page, your fitness page, your fan page, I don't care. Like your page on Facebook, this photo right here is very important. If it's faded or fuzzy, or say it's like way back far and I can't see her face and I'm having to squint, that's not a good profile picture. All right. It should be a nice profile of like here, she's got her waist up. I wouldn't go any further back than that. But it should be a good, like either a headshot or one like this. That's the waist up. I think a little closer is better personally. But you want to always remember that a lot of people are going to be viewing your Facebook page from their phone, right? And everything's a lot smaller on your phone. So when I'm looking at my phone, the little thumbnail of somebody's picture is really tiny. If it's way back, I can't see their face. I can't see who they are. Another thing I like, and this is just me, I like my profile pictures to be the same across the board. So if you go to my fitness page and then you go to my profile, my personal profile, it's the same exact headshot. The reason is because there's a lot of Mary Collins out there, right? Like that's not a super unique name. So when somebody's on my fitness page and maybe they're like, you know, like this chick rocks, I want to be her friend, and they're looking for me, when they search for Mary Collins, it's going to be super easily identified to go, oh, this is the girl. It's the same exact profile picture. So that's just one of my tips that I like to do. I have the same profile picture on Instagram for the same reason. Okay, so the next thing that you want to pay attention to is what you put up here. It shouldn't be a ton of information, right? It should be something that's pretty easy to read. This one actually is a little bit hard for me to read now that I'm looking at it. But it should be pretty easy to read, easily identifiable, and it shouldn't take up too much of the overall picture. Okay, so I think I had another one up here and I can't get to it because
I am so sorry.
You're fine. It's okay.
Totally thought it started at 6:30.
Oh, it's okay. Did I say that?
I don't know. I just had it in my mind 6:30.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm recording it, so it's not a big deal. But just so you know, like, we're doing very interactive tonight. So if, as I'm talking, if you see something that like makes you have a question or you have a comment you want to add in, like, feel free to jump in. This is totally informal. Okay, so here's another girl that I really like to follow. Her name's Ashley Campos. She's actually on the same team as us. She's in our, I'm going to say upline, but her upline coach is up above us too. So Ashley Campos is a total rock star. I follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram page is like where it's at. Like, that's where she is really strong on Instagram. But you see this. Again, a really nice photo of herself smiling. You can see her face. It's close enough. It's not fuzzy. It's a nice, clear picture. And then her photo, again, it's simple. It's something that you can see easily, and it has a nice message to it, which I like. So the next thing I wanted to say, and this is a good test that you can do right now if you're on your computer, but if you go to your profile, either your personal page or your fan page, and check out this grid right here. It's the last 9 photos that you posted. And excuse me, take notice of what those pictures look like. And I'll show you mine. Oh, there it is. So what do you see? All right, you see a lot of my face. And this is actually less of my face than it was like last week. It was like every one of them was my face last week. So with this training that I'm in, something that they're talking about a lot and something that I never did before is really about taking your fitness page, your fan page, and making it pretty much the same that how you would use your personal page. Meaning you're going to share a lot about yourself. You're going to share a lot about your family, a lot about you, okay? Because let's just face it, there's a lot of ads going on, all right? People, there's so many, and I know you guys have the same thing because it's all over my Facebook. But there are so many direct sales companies out there right now, and it sometimes feels like that's all I see, right? And it's like people with their eyelash curlers. Oh, buy from Unique and you're going to get a free eyelash curler. Or I'm just like, seriously, right? The other day I saw some picture and it was like these black feet, and it was like, talking about like getting rid of foot odor. It's like, seriously, like, okay, so there are direct sales companies out there for just about everything, and these people can be very aggressive. and they're talking about their products, and it's really a turnoff. So I want you to, when you're looking at your posts and you're looking at your 9-photo grid of the last pictures you posted, ask yourself, am I sharing myself? Am I selling myself? Because always, and I know I probably say this on every single call we do, but always remember, this is you. It's not, you're not selling Beachbody, all right? Beachbody sells Beachbody. Beachbody is its own brand. Your brand is so unique. There is only one of you. And that's what you have to sell. You have to sell yourself. And you have to make yourself stand apart, all right, to be successful, because there are so many coaches out there, and there are so many doing really good. They're doing social media really great, and there are so many doing it really bad. But you really want to make sure you're standing out. And how do you do that? By sharing who you are. Okay, and this is something that's been talked about a lot and in a lot of training since I've been a coach, but I've only recently really taken it to heart. And so I want to show you just real quick. I didn't think about this, or I had it pulled up already, but I want to show you my insights for the last, well, let's see, it's the last week or so. And if you guys saw my post from about a week ago where I showed you, whoa, what did I do? I clicked on something. Where I showed everybody what I started at, I was in the negative on everything. Everything was red, red, red. See all these plus 102%, plus 58%, plus 160%. I was in the red on everything when I started, all right? And this is all organic. This is all organic, all right? So if you look here.
By organic?
Sorry?
By organic, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm not paying for this.
Okay.
This is happening because I literally, and this was mind-blowing to me, you guys, and that's why I might sound a little passionate about this, because I literally blew my own mind by doing what they told me to do. Like, go figure, right? Like, you do what the experts say to do, and it works, and you're shocked. Like, okay. So bad on me, because I'm really hard-headed and it took me so long. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why this was so hard, such a hard concept for me to get.
Because you hadn't paid for the knowledge.
Maybe.
Now you paid $300 and you're like, hey,
yeah, I'm like,
do it.
I paid a lot of money. I need to make this work. Yeah, that could be part of it. Well, I just feel like I always, they would say, you need to make it about you, share your family. And I literally remember sitting at the computer sometimes and just thinking well, what could I share about me that would be interesting, and coming up with nothing, because I really felt like my life is not very interesting. Nobody wants to know these stupid little things. What about my life is so interesting that a stranger would want to have intimate details about my life? It just didn't make sense to me. But I started this training, I paid for it, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do exactly what they say to do and just see what happens, because obviously I was in the red on everything. And so what I was doing was not working. Okay. So I started doing what they told me to do. And as you can see, you look through these posts of mine. Let me expand this. Oh, what did it do? Oh, here we go. And you can see that right here, the blues and the pinks, that's my comments and likes. So pink is likes, comments, and shares, and then the blue is how many people actually clicked on my post. And you can see on every single one of them, I've got interaction of some kind. Right? So this really works. My husband was really popular. He got 89 clicks. But here, I'll just show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about sharing yourself.
See, this is so weird. I've liked your page, okay? But I've not seen this stuff on my feed.
Yeah, and I talked about that at the beginning. Facebook, if you're doing good, if you're doing really good, you'll get 10% of the people who like your page will actually see their stuff in your newsfeed. When I first started, it was not like that. I had like 700 likes, and I'd get like up to 120, 130 likes per post. I got a ton of likes, ton of engagements. Right now, with the changes I've made, I'm getting about 10 to 20. I've had a few go over 20 likes. And you can see, like, by those stats I showed you, how much that's improved from before. But the more you're consistent with this, the more organic reach you will get, and the more people will start to see your stuff in their newsfeed, because Facebook says, like, oh, she's getting a lot of likes and comments. People want to see her stuff, and so they'll start giving it to more people. The other thing you can do, and I've seen coaches do this, is make a post like at a good time of day when you know most of your friends will be on Facebook, and just say, like, hey, if you like what I post, if you want to see my stuff, favorite my page. So for me to favorite, if you go,
Sorry, my husband just went to the store and he could have taken the baby, right? But no.
oh, that's okay. Okay, so if I go over here to, let's see. No, where is it? Right here. So you tell people, see the 3 dots? If you click on that, they can go down, and it says right here where mine says remove from favorites, it would say for them add to favorites. If they add your page to their favorites, your stuff will have a much higher chance of getting into their newsfeed. It's still not guaranteed, though. It's just a higher chance. So, yeah.
Mary, can I ask you something about your cover photo there? I know you may have talked about it, but you made that on Canva, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that image of you, was there stuff in the background that they allowed you to crop out, or is that image of you just a clear white background so you were able to lay that other picture?
I had to make that, and I made this one. There's a site called clippingmagic.com, and I want to say it was like, I think it was like $5, and you get 15 different clips. So I just lost it. Where'd it go?
See, like that post of Candace, I never saw that. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to go to your page and see what you're posting.
Yes, I know, it's a problem. But if you implement these things and you start really sharing who you are, little things about yourself, you're going to see a big improvement. So if you look through my, let's talk about a post. All right, let's talk about post. So this is the last one I did. This is one of those that before I would have been like, oh, heck no, would I ever share something like that on Facebook? And today it hit me, and I was like, you know what? It's just real life, right? So I'm going to share this. But so here's the deal. When I first started coaching, and even now, I had a real, my instinct was to go for instructional posts. All right. So what I would have done in the past, if I posted something like this, is it would have started right here at here's the truth, right? And just be very instructional and give them information. What I've been learning, and where I've made a lot of changes with my page, is instead of just focusing on instructing people and giving people information, I'm adding in a little bit about me into it. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And the other thing that you want to do is right here, the question. So if I just tell them all this, like, they're kind of reading it and they're like, oh, okay, cool, right? But when I ask them a question, it's a call to action. So I'm calling them to respond. And then that's when you get your responses. Hi, baby.
I'm sorry.
Say hi.
I had the same thought, Amanda, when I read that post.
What?
So I laughed just as much as you did when I read that post.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know what he said, but is he talking smack?
Yes, he is. All right, but you see here, within minutes of me posting that, I had these comments. People were like, oh, I totally agree, or I hate that. Like, people are identifying with what I posted, all right? As crazy as it is, I don't expect you to. I hope you don't, please God. So that's all I wanted to just, like, talk about that. Like, add in there something about your own struggles. So, like, here today, again, just adding something about yourself. So instead of just making it like super instructive, I add in here, like, this is something I struggle with, you know, having these thoughts, like, and I think all women do. Like, if you can't admit that, then I don't know, you got issues. But admit your faults. Like, talk about your faults, talk about your weaknesses, talk about your struggles, because that's how people identify with you. And we all know, I mean, we say it all the time, to be a super successful coach, you don't have to be a six-pack fitness robot. All right? Like, you can be on your journey. And I know when I first joined, there's a coach named Amanda, not Amanda, it's an A. Not Ashley Snow, Amber, there, Amber Snow, and you can find her on Facebook. She was a top 10 coach the year that I started coaching. All right, so we're talking top 10 in the company, and she had a good probably 50 or 60 pounds she needed to lose, and she made it to top 10. You don't have to be a fitness perfect model specimen to do this. You don't ever have to be. All right. It just takes understanding how people think and allowing yourself to relate to them. You know what I mean? Like, putting the truth out there, put the truth of who you are, the good, the bad, the indifferent, right? Like, the struggles, the great things too, but share everything and be honest and authentic. And when you are truly authentic and honest about yourself, people will relate and they'll feel like they can. It's like they look at you and they're like, you know, I could be a friend with that girl. Because if you're too perfect, nobody feels like they can be your friend. Like, people, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to be around somebody they feel inferior to. They want to be around people that they relate to. So let's keep scrolling. Here's another one. All right, sharing your, I'm going to click on it so we can expand it. Sharing your, the lifestyle that Beachbody has allowed you to lead or is allowing you to lead. All right, sharing why you're a coach without overtly advertising coaching. So you'll notice at the bottom of this, I don't say like, oh, come join my team, right? But I talk about my team and I talk about where this journey has led me, all right? Where I started. And again, adding those personal details. So you can see like lazy, doubtful, every day was a struggle, depression and anxiety. I'm sharing little bits and pieces about where I came from. So somebody who's reading this right now who is depressed and anxious is going to be able to relate and say, wow, she dealt with this too. If she can do it, I can do it. You're creating relatability. All right. So sharing those little things about yourself, and you don't have to like bare your soul to the world to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it in kind of general terms. Like, if you look at that, like, I'm not going into super detail about my depression and why I was depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be like a bleeding heart in order for people to relate to you, but you do have to share personal things. And then down here, another tip I wanted to focus on, and this is something that I mentioned at the beginning of this chat when I was talking about really being an encourager and a supporter of other people. And women, I think there's something like, we're so powerful, right? By ourselves, alone. Like if you believe in yourself and you're willing to get out there and bust tail and you're willing to just do what it takes, you're a very powerful individual. But when we join together as a team and we support and encourage each other and we are like our biggest fan, there's something so powerful in that. You're creating a tribe. So be an encourager and a supporter on your page of other people. When you do that, people see that. And again, we're talking about lifestyle, the lifestyle of a coach, right? People are going to see that, wow, this girl, she supports her coaches. She thinks her coaches are amazing and she's willing to share their successes and she's willing to talk about them. All right. So I'm going to keep scrolling. Are you guys getting stuff out of this? Is this okay? Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling here.
Can I help you? Is there something you would like of me right now?
Okay. So here, your food, whatever you do, just make it, again, like take that extra time to make it look appealing. Right? And then ask the question again. Like I've been trying the last 2 weeks, try to ask a question with every single post. Now, do I get comments on every single post? No, I haven't. But I've gotten comments on 100% more posts than I was before. All right? Like I was getting 0. Another thing I wanted to say is don't become married to a post. Don't like put everything sometimes we write something, and I know like me, I like to write. I like to put words together. It's just a thing I like to do. And sometimes for me, because it's something I really enjoy doing and I kind of put my heart and soul into what I write, it's easy if it doesn't get a lot of comments or likes for me to kind of feel like offended almost, like, how dare you not like what I wrote, or maybe like you take a picture and you just put a lot of thought into it and you did your graphics and whatever it is that you did and you really like felt like, okay, this is a winner. This post is going to go so far, and then it falls flat. It's okay. We really don't have control over what people do with our stuff, right? And it could be so many things. Your post could be absolutely amazing and you posted it on a Friday night and nobody was on. They were all at the movies, okay? Maybe if you posted it on a Monday night, you would have gotten a ton of likes. So don't ever get so like emotionally invested in a post that, you allow that to bother you. All you can do, it's like kind of like our invitation process. All you can do is put the invite out there. That's all you can do. How people respond to that is on them. Like you do your part by getting it out there. All right. So for us, we do our part by as skillfully as we can and with as much thought as we can, putting our content out there. But what happens at that point is really not in our control.
See, with me, like when I post something, and we talked about this yesterday, if I post something on my like page and it doesn't get a lot of likes, I'm like immediately regretful. Like, oh, had I posted that on my personal page, I know I would have gotten likes. But because it's on my like page, I'm not getting anything. And so then that's the cycle I fall into. Like I just start posting only on my personal page. And then, of course, I'm not getting any likes on my like page because I'm not posting enough.
Well, I understand, and trust me, like over the last year and a half or so, I've been really focused on my personal page, and all of these posts, if I had posted them directly to my personal page, I'd have gotten 60, 80, 90 likes.
Right.
Not 15. but we really have to look at it like we're building it right now. Like this right now, I'm at 1 week in, you guys. Like this is 1 week. I can't expect it to be 60 likes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at 1 week in. What I would say is, and we talked about this, and you know, like sharing your posts to your page or tagging yourself in your posts, and then also recycle them. If you have a post that you think this is just awesome material, I think this would go over really great, I think a lot of people would get something out of it, and you post it on your personal or on your fitness page and like nobody sees it, save it, and a week from now repost it to your personal page, or even a few days from now repost it to your personal page as though that's the first time you've posted it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people do that. Like Missy posts a lot of her stuff. It's the same exact thing across the board. I personally recommend that you wait a couple days, that you're not doing both, because you will have people who are seeing it and you don't want them to see it. I don't know. It's just.
Then it looks desperate, like we were talking about. Then it's like, hey, you didn't like it over here, but you should really like this. So how about if you like it now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that waiting a little bit is a good idea. That's just me. And I know I've heard Shalene Johnson say on trainings that, you know, totally redo posts. That's totally like, she talks about that, like reposting things, but definitely wait a few days, maybe put a different picture with it. You know what I mean? You can do different things, use the same content across all your social media platforms, but just change a little bit here and there so that it's not like you just literally copied and pasted it over.
So are you okay with like looking at our page and giving, you know,
Yeah.
whatever? So like on my picture, because I went and did that, and she said, look to see, you know, the last 10 posts. Or your last 9 posts, I see a lot of my face, but I have a lot of like writing on there also. And granted, it was like from a couple months ago because I kind of took a break on it, but should I not do as much writing?
I'm gonna go in there right now if my computer.
I have it. Can I screen share or only the host can?
I'm not sure. I think only a presenter can. But I'm there now. So I'm looking at your page.
So like, and just looking at my cover photo, it's not clean at all. Like, yeah.
So what I see with your cover photo is I like the before and after. I love the before and after, but I don't think you need 3 of them.
Okay.
That's like kind of uber redundant, and my eyes don't know where to go. It's like, which one do I look at first?
Uh-huh.
So I would pick your best one and go with that, like the one that you think, you know, is a really great one. They're all pretty good. Do you have these pictures in a better quality?
I don't think so. Not anymore. Because I was just thinking, I don't have them without the writing on them, without the dates either. I would have to look.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I probably do, because they're each pictures that I posted on Facebook at different times, or that were on Facebook at different times. So I'm sure I could go back and find them.
I would do that. I would go back and then I would redo it, and maybe instead of creating your photo page, gosh, I can't talk.
Cover photo?
Instead of doing it as like a collage, do them separately so that you can arrange it. You know, you're not stuck in does that make sense?
Yeah, but wouldn't they need to be side by side anyway, though?
Yeah, but this to me just looks like
it's like a block. Huh?
It's too blocky. I that's just me. I think that it would look better side by side even, but maybe a little offset. You know what I mean? Just something a little bit more visually stimulating.
Okay, and what about my profile picture?
I like the profile picture. It's a good close shot. You're smiling, you're looking at the camera. The only thing that I might change, I mean, I really like it, but if I'm going to be uber picky, I might take the little thing off.
And see, and I don't think I have it without that. I think that's how I posted it.
It's not on your phone?
Oh no, I don't think so. Because I delete things as soon as I
Oh.
like a zillion pictures and
Mm-hmm.
but I mean,
what
I
I started doing is I upload, when I post to Facebook, I upload whatever it is into a file. I have seriously, like, oh my gosh, like, are you like an anal person? Because you'll love what I got going on. I'll show you. You gotta make this bigger. I'll show you guys how I organize myself. So here's my Beachbody picture folders. You can see I'm uber, like, I have so many different categories that I save. But up here, my fitness pics, these are all the pictures of me, like my personal pictures I've taken of myself. Here are my motivational pics. These are pictures that I've done. Either it's me or whatever. I created it with like a quote or a logo or something written on it. And I save all that stuff. So because I can go back now, for instance, I've been coaching for 3 years and I've had this, looking for my motivation. I've had this folder going since I started. So a lot of these pictures I've posted before, but I can repost them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I see something, I save it. And then, you know, like what I like to do, talking about one of my points is making your posts meaningful, right? So don't just like throw up a quote. Actually think it through. Like, what do I want people to think? What do I think? Why do I like this quote? What does it speak to me? Like, what does it make me like, feel? And then write about that, you know, and even better yet, take the quote and put it on your own picture. That's what I'm doing now. But before, you know, it was like, I've always liked to write. So, you know, let's take one for instance. When I read a picture, this is literally how I come up with my posts, you guys. Like, I'll look for quotes. I find one that I like. And then I sit and I just think about it for a minute. And then I write something from me about that picture. Right?
And you would post that picture, or you would take a picture of yourself and put that on there?
Now I'll take a picture of myself and put it on there. Or, you know, like what I'm seeing across the board is they're saying if you're going to post like a quote like that, and you're just going to post a picture with a quote already on it, that's not you, only do that one time a day, max one a day. Because again, when I'm on that photo grid, I want to see mostly me. And like, look, you're doing a great job of that. That's, you know, that's all you. I like the ones of the
Fit Club.
Yeah, the Fit Club, the layers of people behind you. That looks really cool. You don't have, I think your photo grid looks really good. You don't have too many that have words on it. You know what I mean? Like it's a good mix.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think yours looks pretty darn good. And you've always done a really great job, Amanda, of being authentic and genuine on your page. I know I've commented on that before.
I wish that one would go away. I hate that bottom left picture. I
one?
post like 15 things tonight, so I don't have to see that when I go to my page.
Why?
I hate it.
Oh, you're funny.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think you do a really good job of just like sharing yourself and who you are. So, and you don't really like, I mean, you have people commenting and interacting on your stuff.
Yeah, but then I stop. That's my problem. So like now I'm just trying to get back into posting on there. Yeah, I'm going to keep it up though, because I know like, and hearing the stuff that you're telling us from your training, you know, this is like the way to go is through a like page. Because at one point I kind of thought about just abandoning it altogether. And when you pointed out, you know, at some point I'm going to be doing sponsored posts or whatever, and you can't do it from a personal page. It's like, oh, if I'm going to have it, I need to do it.
That's another reason why you should do a Facebook page. And that's, when at the beginning, before you got on, Amanda, I talked about like the reasons why you should have one. And that's when I totally didn't mention it, but that's so true. Like you can't do an ad from your personal page. But through Facebook like pages, you can promote posts. You can run an actual ad. Like there's so many things you can do. So let's go back here to my page.
What was the website you said that you could clear out the background of pictures?
Clippingmagic.com.
Clippingmagic.com.
Yeah. You can also, I know you can do it on PicMonkey. I personally don't know how to do it on PicMonkey, but I posted maybe like 3 weeks ago a doc.
Right.
All the PicMonkey tutorials. So you can do that, I think, for free on PicMonkey. Clipping Magic is going to cost you, but the cool thing about Clipping Magic is you upload your picture into the site, and then you have like this red marker where you mark what you don't want, and I mean not like super close, like you're just kind of, you sweep around it, and then you, with the green marker, you sweep around your face and your body, whatever you want to keep, and it automatically does it for you. So you're not like, you know, with your mouse like this. It's super fast. It's as long as your picture has a pretty solid background and you stand out, you know, it doesn't work so well if there's a busy background. But if you're like against a wall or something that's like a pretty decent, you're standing out in the picture, it works really well. Really, really well. So I recommend that. All right, so let's talk real quick because I know it's getting late. Let's talk about posts that you can do that work really well. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so posts that work really well. Humor. All right, so showing that, especially like self-deprecating humor where you can laugh at yourself, like show that, you know, you have a funny side. So whether it be in your writing or maybe a picture, like eye-catching pictures, you know, like a funny face. I do that a lot, silly, goofy faces. But, you know, show that you have a sense of humor. I think that's just as important as admitting your flaws. People like to laugh. Ask opinion posts. So you see I have one here, and this one didn't do so well. I think it was because it was a Friday night, and it's just one of those things. But here it's my treat night, right? And so I asked people, like, which should I pick, a hamburger or pizza? So you can do this. People do this with like shoes. I mean, you can ask an opinion on anything. People love to give their opinions. People love it. So I posted one a while back, and it's like the toilet paper diagram where, like, is it under or over the toilet paper? And I had like a lot of comments. People just they like easy. They like non-controversial. You know, if you do a controversial post, make sure it's not like religion or politics. I think those are the hot topic ones that you don't want people fighting on your page. All right. You can get a conversation going, but you don't want people fighting on your page. But, you know, post things that make people think, ask their opinions. They like to give their opinions. And if you stick around, this is another point that I think is really important. when you post, don't post and run. Stick around for a few minutes, especially if you're asking a question, so that you can interact with people who respond and you can get an actual conversation going. So lifestyle posts. This is another one that I think is really big. Share you living your life. Like, what does your life look like? Share how Beachbody has directly impacted your life. And again, don't tag on a little end, like, ooh, come join my team. It's more just getting them interested, right, in what you're doing. This is who I am post. So actually telling, and I did this maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago before I actually started the training, but I just like introduced myself like, hey, for people who are new to my page, maybe you don't know me, this is a little bit about who I am. And it was just like super short, really quick, really easy to read. And I had a ton of comments on it. Like one girl even said like, I love this. Like, really? Okay. It's funny what people like really attracts them. I think people want to know you. They want to feel like they know you. And when they do, they can trust you. That's what will lead to growing your team and growing your challenge groups. Let's see. The longer the comments people leave on your posts, that to me says that they're thinking. The longer the comments, they're listening to what you have to say and they're responding back. All right. Just running through really quick to see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Sarah, did you have any questions or comments?
Sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
I know my cover photo is so busy. Oh my goodness. I need to change that like right now.
Sarah, do you have a like page?
I do have a like page, yeah.
I don't know that I've liked it yet. You want one more like?
Yes. Oh, and you know what? I don't know if you've ever had this, but it says like 100 and something people have accepted your request to like it, but then it says I only have like 60 something likes. I don't know, and I feel like it fluctuates. Like some days it's more and some days it's less. Like, do people unlike your page? And I have one of my coaches actually. She liked my page, and now it says that she didn't like it. I don't know. It's weird.
What is your page?
What is it?
What is your page? Yeah.
It's Sarah Howard Fitness. You're friends with me on Facebook, right?
I think so. Yeah, I tried your blueberry muffins the other day.
Did you like them?
Yeah, they were pretty good. They were better than what I expected. But you know what? I did, I put in, what did I use? Agave nectar. I've never done that before. But I added some of that because you said that you had added honey, or you thought about adding honey the next time. Anyway, they're pretty good.
Here's another cover photo that works too. This is Meg Wazinski's cover photo. She has a lot of pictures, but they're not like overly in your face. You know what I mean? She has her before and after, a picture of her working out, a picture of her family. So her cover photo does a really good job of showing you like who she is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm going to go get her pacifier. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Did we lose Sarah?
I think so.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. It's getting kind of late too.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add? I know we don't have a lot of people live on the call, so I'm expecting they will be watching this.
Oh, there's Sarah back.
I think like if I could give any advice, and before you got on, Amanda, I went over like the top reasons why people don't post and don't share. But I think if I could give any like super like simple but powerful advice, it would just be yourself, and don't be afraid to share like who you are. If you have a hard time thinking like I did, and I still kind of do, like why would somebody want to know like stupid little details about my life? Just know that they do for some weird reason. All right, like they do. And what I would do is just set a specific time. Like I'm going to post one time a day about what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to make it interesting, and I'm going to make it relevant. All right. And sometimes that can be challenging, but actually I want to show you a good example of this because this happened to me.
Mary, how often a day do you post on your like page?
I've been like doing like 3 to 4. The more you post, the more reach you're going to get.
I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. My phone died.
It's no problem. All right, so here's one right here. This happened Friday. I was driving home and I just saw like we have these wetlands. It was just beautiful. So I got off the freeway and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go like follow my little whim and take some pictures of this wetland. It was so pretty. What I didn't expect, what I did is I told the little bit about me. I told my little experience, like why I decided to do this, right? Like following my heart, a little bit about what I saw, just really short, but I gave a little bit of insight into me in this post. And then I asked the questions. When's the last time you had a spontaneous thought and you just went for it? All right. So I made it, oops, so glitchy right now. I talked about myself and then I made it relatable. And I got some comments here, people, and a lot of likes. Well, a lot for me. 16 likes. And somebody shared it, of all things. Okay. So, the one I wanted to show you, though.
Oh my gosh, that picture. Why don't I see your stuff? I'm like seeing it all now.
Can you believe that? My moon face?
Nothing like you.
Yes.
Even the old you. Like I knew the old you, and that looks nothing like the old you.
I know. Trust me. Every time I pull my passport out and I see that picture, I'm like, whoa, like, pull my passport. But here's a good example of lifestyle. So I've got my passport out. Not only did I share my before picture, but I added on there a little bit about what Beachbody has done for me, a Jamaica cruise. I didn't add in there like, hey, come join my team so that you can go to Jamaica too. Like, I'm just talking about it. Now, if anybody has not read it yet, a good book to read is Jab, 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 Right Hook. And this is, as far as that book goes, this is a jab, right? So what they're talking about is like boxing, like jabbing distraction punches, and then boom, like you clock them, right, and knock them out. So a knockout post would be, I've been jabbing with all these, like, look at this lifestyle, so cool. Beachbody's sending me on a cruise. I'm helping people lose weight, you know, whatever, all my little jabs. And then when I do post about a challenge group, or I do post a direct invitation to join my team, that's my right hook. But it's only super powerful because of those jabs that I've been putting out there.
I love that picture. Oh my gosh, Brandon.
trying to find a specific post. My computer is like super slow right now for some reason. Come on. Oh, videos are really good on Facebook too. Facebook apparently wants to be the next YouTube. So your videos are going to get twice as many views, or twice as many, it will go into twice as many people's feeds as a picture post will.
How did that contest do, Mary?
It did okay. It didn't get what I was it didn't do what I was hoping it would do. I was wanting to like get more attention to my page. But people weren't asking their friends to come like their posts, so it didn't happen. I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, oh, come on. Where this picture went. Oh, right here, this one. This was literally me sitting there going, okay, it's my time to post something about my day or what I'm doing right now, and I have no idea what I'm going to post. And I posted this. Guess my point is just to literally, what am I doing right now? How can I make it A, funny, B, inspiring, 3, relevant, 4, instructional, whatever. How can I somehow provide value to somebody, either by making them laugh or inspiring them or whatever, giving somebody else a shout out, like, you know.
How did that do?
616 people saw this picture, which is a lot for my page. Like most of mine right now, after the work I've been doing, most of mine are getting around 200 to 400. So over 600 is pretty good for my page. And I had 9 people like it.
See, and that's what I get offended at. Like, okay, 616 people saw this and only 9 of you liked it? Jerks.
Yeah.
That.
Huh?
I said, I understand that.
Yeah, that's, again, one of those things where you can't, like, get married to your post. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to. The win, really, is that 616 people were reached by it. And just because they're reached doesn't mean they actually saw it, all right? So, like, their computer could be up and it goes into their newsfeed, but they never saw it. That's not, they didn't click on it and then not like it. You know what I'm saying?
So they're not really that big of jerks.
Right. They're only, like, partial jerks. All right. Well, I think I've like covered pretty much what I wanted to. Oh, I have an assignment for everybody. Glad I remembered this. All right. Here's my assignment, and it's based off of this week's, not today, last week's National Wake Up Call with Bonnie Engel, which was so good. If you haven't listened to Bonnie, I think it was last week or maybe it was the week before.
No, wait. Last week was Amy Silverman. Is that the one you're talking about?
That one was really good too. No, it's Bonnie Engel. So it must have been the week before last. It was MLK Day. Okay, so she talked about how she uses her Facebook page as a sneak peek. Every day she posts about an object. Did you listen to that one?
Yeah, she talks about how,
it was really, really, really
like
good.
Recruiting with confidence or something like that?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so based on that, I had an assignment for everyone because this goes right along with what we've been talking about tonight. But I want you to pick 3 coaches out of the top 10 for this year. 3 coaches, and go to their page and think about this. Success leaves clues, which is what Bonnie was talking about on her call. Success leaves clues. What does that mean? It means that if you have somebody that you know is super successful in an area that you want to be successful in, the best way that you can grow yourself is to study that person and look at what they're doing. And we as coaches have like the absolute best opportunity to do that because everybody is on social media, right? Like their lives are displayed before us in vivid color. So if you're wanting to study someone and look for those clues that they're leaving as to what they're doing that's working, we have like the perfect platform to do that. It's called Facebook. All right. So I want everyone to pick 3 top coaches that you are going to go to their page and you're going to look at what they're posting, things that stand out about what they're posting, the topics they're posting about, how are they sharing their lives, how are they like these little intricacies that we've been talking about tonight, putting a little bit, infusing a tiny little bit of your DNA into every single post that you post. How are they doing that? All right. How are they conducting themselves on Facebook? Like what's their general like culture of their page? How are they sharing this opportunity? And remember again, like sharing is not just a direct invitation. Sharing is just talking about it, like just being open about what's happening with your business. And then how can you duplicate, not copy them, but how can you model yourself after them and duplicate what they're doing on your own page? So that's the assignment I had for everybody this week. All right.
Okay.
And then one last thing, actually. If you go into your insights, and I think it's under people. Hope I have this right. Oh, come on, computer. Isn't it funny like how impatient we are with technology? Remember dial-up? Oh, come on, it's not working. All right. If you look around your insights, you're going to see a lot of really cool stuff. Like Facebook knows more about you than the government knows about you. All right. Like Facebook is pretty crazy. So if you go into your insights, you can see, it'll actually tell you the demographics of the people who like your page. It'll tell you how many % are from 18 to 25-year-olds. How many percentage of them are from 25 to 34-year-olds. It'll tell you the percentage of men to women. It'll tell you when they are on Facebook. Like when are they actually getting on Facebook and looking at your stuff? And this is really important information, and it's powerful information for us because it's basically telling us when to post and who to post to, right? So like be a researcher of your own fans. Like go and check the insight section out and really study it because it'll give you a lot of insight into who you're talking to and who that you should be posting to. Because really, like when we're posting, you should have that person in mind you're posting to. You know, like that avatar of that person that, you know, would be a good fit for your team. But, you know, pay attention to what gets more likes, what time of day you're posting that you notice like, okay, I'm getting more interaction at this time of day. That's all really important information, and it's not that hard to figure out.
And can you do that from your personal page also, or is that only like pages that has that?
Like pages. I can tell you the demographics of the Beachbody customer are from 25 to 44 years old, mostly women. The customers, a lot of them, a higher percentage do not have children, surprisingly. The demographics of coaches, on the other hand, a higher percentage of them have children. A higher percentage of them are stay at home, which makes sense, right? So like knowing those little things is, I think it's very informative, and it can really be powerful as far as building your business and knowing who you're talking to. But I'm going to let you guys go because it's been like an hour and a half. But I want to like just tell you, I think it takes a little bit of time to get your like page up and going, but I think it's time well spent. And I think in the end, it'll really help your business grow. So take that time, make the effort, and just see what happens. All right.
Thank you. I'm
Love
sorry.
you guys. Oh no, you're fine. All right, I'll post the recording as soon as it's up. It'll probably take a little while because it's really long. All right. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for hopping on.
Okay.